Hello, I see people are starting to show up. I've got a new setup here today, so I thought, oh, let me just go on live 5 minutes early just to test my system. So I see Anita is here. Let's see, who else is here? So I'll start in 5 minutes, or let's see, in 4 minutes, but I'm just testing my connections here. Whew. It's hot here. Three minutes. Jenny is here. Well, if you're showing up, let me know that you're here because I've got a new setup and hopefully it's working this month. My name is Rhonda Pierce and I'll be going live in about, let me see, 3 minutes. So just letting people come on board. Okay, I'm getting thumbs up, so that's good. People are starting to show up. So as we wait to go live in about 2 minutes, I'll just I drove in from the Chicago area this morning, and wow, at around 4 o'clock this morning, wow, there was a really strong thunderstorm. So strong it actually woke me up. But I didn't see any damage on my home. But I was glad I didn't have to drive in rain here to Madison, Wisconsin. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, and it was really quite easy and really no road construction. So, how unusual is that? Okay, so I see Jenny and Pam is here from Atlantic, Iowa. Diane is here from Tinley Park. We've got Anita and Teresa. So, just letting people show up, and about a minute we will start. And I've got several different guests coming this morning. So, yes, Madison, Wisconsin. I remember last year it was sweltering. And I think it's going to be just as hot here today. But maybe tomorrow when the show actually opens and some of the doors are closed, they'll have the air conditioner working. Okay, so I see Brenda from Montana, Marie from Florida. Um, yes, Pam, it is very warm here. And it's not so much it's the heat and the humidity. That's what really gets to me. Stephanie is here from Virginia. Yay, everybody. And about another minute, we will start. So I'm glad that you're able to get on today. And let me see. Let me move my chat over here. Okay, now I can see chat on my screen here too. Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to my live SCHMETZ snippet. Hopefully, you're watching either from Facebook or maybe you're watching from SCHMETZneedles.com, our video page, or maybe you're on our SCHMETZ Needles YouTube page. So you've got a couple options, and as far as I can tell, it looks like they're all working. I'm seeing messages from all the different venues. So guess what? I'm at the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show here in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm delighted to be here, and I am in the Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio booth. And I was here last year by invitation. I'm delighted to be here again this year. Let me just bring on our first guest. She's right here, and I bet you know her too. Oh my gosh, look at this. She brings flowers.
I know you love yellow.
I do love yellow. Thanks, Deanna. So, everyone, this is my friend Deanna Springer of Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio. But wow, how many hats do you wear, Deanna?
Oh, wow. Let's see. Vice President of Marketing for Nancy Zeman Productions and we run, my sisters Dana, Casey, and Denise Abel, we run the Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio in Beaver Dam.
Okay, and
It'll
let me
be
just
2 years.
2 years. Oh my
This
gosh.
October.
You should take a road trip. If you can't make it here to the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show, you should do a road trip to Beaver Dam, Wisconsin to check out the store. It is wonderful and beautifully laid out.
Yeah, nice lighting, bright lighting. It's
Yeah.
really a beautiful space, and we're creating and we're teaching classes the Nancy Zeman way. So time-saving,
Okay.
classic time-saving sewing tips from Nancy. And my sisters and I have the Stitch It Sisters video
Yep.
series. So I produce and host the Stitch It Sisters video series over on YouTube. Look for Stitch It Sisters. And this is the 19th year of the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show.
Really?
So
Oh my
Nancy and I
gosh.
started this 21 years ago when she approached PBS Wisconsin and say, "Hey folks, I think that we could do a really unique fundraiser, and it could be a quilt show." So it's a legacy
Nice.
gift from Nancy.
Oh.
It's a fundraiser for PBS Wisconsin, and it keeps quality program on the air.
Yes.
And it really meets their mission of outreach and education. So happy
Awesome.
19th year. Guess what next year is? 20 years.
20. Oh my goodness. A big bash, I'm sure. You're going to stitch it up?
We're going to stitch it up. I like that.
Stitch it up. Stitch up 20 years.
Stitch it up a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, are you teaching classes here too? You and your sisters?
We are.
What kind of classes are you doing?
Oh, that's a
And
good
here,
quiz.
look right here.
I'll be teaching Quilt As You Go in 10, 20, 30 minutes to sew. So great June Taylor basis, and it's also tips for you to sew one step at a time through the top, the batting, and the layers. So Quilt As You Go is a really amazing and fun way to make a quilt or a quilted project. Not just bed-size quilts, which I will show in class. It's a lecture at 1 o'clock every day. So come here and join us on site.
Stitch As You Go would be a lot quicker also than the traditional way.
It is. It's faster and pretty precise, but not as fussy as paper piecing. So it is foundation piecing, but it's going through all the layers at one time.
Yes.
So in a fraction of the time, like you mentioned, you have a quilt or a project or a bag. I'll be showing bags and totes. So that's great. And Denise is here. Denise Abel, my sister, our machine embroidery specialist. She will be teaching, of course, quilting in the hoop. So she has her quick quilting in the hoop, and she'll showcase her fall leaves designs. It's fall, y'all.
It doesn't feel like fall.
No. What is it? About 90 degrees in here today. It's setup day. On setup day, with the Alliant Energy Center does not run the air conditioning. So that's why we're so glowing today. We're glowing today.
And this is my trusty little fan here. I should fan us both down.
Right. It's
Awesome.
warm, and the vendors are here. They're setting up. You can hear in the background pipe dropping on the ground and quilts going up.
Oh, yes.
The Central Quilt exhibit is going up.
How many quilts are going to be on display? Do you know?
Including the vendors, thousands. But in the Central Quilt exhibit, which my sister Dana Casey coordinates, and she'll be teaching her no hassle triangles. So you might see her later today.
Yeah, I think Dana's going to come by later too. So yay.
So she has about 300 quilts in the Central Quilt exhibit that were juried and judged in. And there's special quilt exhibits everywhere we can put quilts. There are quilts. And then if you count what's in the vendor booth, I don't know, we probably have a dozen in our booth here. And we have the quilts. We have Clover is here.
Clover, yes.
Clover John will be here from Clover. Laura Star will be here. Check out the new Laura Star ironing system.
Carol just says that she was here last year.
Oh, great. Hi, Carol.
It was fantastic. Paula says that she watches a lot of PBS. And
Clovis. Hi, Clovis. Diamond fan.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Clovis.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. So we started our program off with Deanna. And you know what? Even though I'm going to be here for 3 more days, this is probably the only time I'm going to see Deanna because she is one busy gal. So thank you so much for inviting me to be here with SCHMETZ Needles and for creating a little nook here. So you can see I've got 3 boards. They set up 3 boards of SCHMETZ needles. So I'll be talking a lot about needles this time. So
we're looking forward to it. And I see you brought your giant needle along.
I did. Did you want to hold it, Deanna?
Just for a minute. It's like
a trophy.
You love me. You really love me. Dana's laughing in the background. And just a shout out to Mary and Rita. We miss you.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for inviting me.
We'll see you next time.
Watch online. Follow Rhonda on social. And head over to Great Wisconsin Quilt Show too on social, wiquiltshow.com,
And have
where
it-
you'll find me live this afternoon, tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, and Friday morning.
There you go. There you have it.
Enjoy the
Okay,
show.
thanks
Bye.
so much. Okay, Dana, you're up next, and then I've got Sue coming too. So Dana, step on up.
Hooray.
Woo, hello,
Hello.
Dana.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. This is Dana. Also with the Stitch It sisters.
Sisters.
Yes, yes. So you're going to look right
Okay,
there.
sorry.
And we've got people from all over coast to coast. So
Wow.
that's fantastic. So
That's exciting.
I mentioned that I'm here in the Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio booth. And wow, you've got a lot of great products here. What
We
are some of the
do,
things
we
that you're
do.
showing and some of your specials?
So some of our show specials are 33% off Burnett sewing machines, and we'll have a rep here from Bernina Burnett demonstrating these machines and giving you a guided tour so you can look at those. As always, one of near and dear to my heart, because a lot of tools that I use are friends from Clover. We have 20% off all Clover products here in the booth. Lots of go
Are
ahead.
these specials just for the show, or is it online too? Just asking.
They are show specials, and I'm going to say online too. If not, give the store a call, and Denise will make them that way. So I'm talking out of turn. We
sorry.
have lots of fun things. If you do come to the show, I really invite you to the booth to visit the Laura Star steam iron
that's a really
demonstration.
And they
It's
have
exciting.
a new cover, iron cover,
They do,
if I remember
and it's
correctly.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful.
fantastic.
So it's kind of Art Deco. It's black and gold. So
fantastic. Yeah,
very
love
cool.
those. Why shouldn't your ironing board cover be?
It should be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a steam generator system, so it's more than just an ironing board.
Right, exactly.
So it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Just lots and lots of show specials. Stitch It Sisters bundle boxes we have on sale, and we have lots of our new Benartex fabric pre-cuts.
Oh,
So
okay.
we brought all pre-cuts. The yardage is available online and at the store.
Let's see now. I think you got a special on some SCHMETZ needles
I think
too.
we have some SCHMETZ needles.
I don't know what that discount is, but I saw
10%.
some 10%. So yep, that works.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So that's
And are you
exciting.
giving a class here too?
I am also doing a lecture. Not only do I coordinate the quilts and the educators, all three of us sisters are giving lectures daily, 1 hour lectures. So I will be, I think Deanna mentioned this early, but I will be lecturing No Hassle Triangles the Nancy Zeman way. And it's kind of a 2.0. I did like the starter last year, my first year lecturing in front of more than 5 people. So that was exciting. And so I'll be going over you the next step and how we put these no hassle triangle blocks together and make these fun combinations with those.
You know, that's one of the great things about this show is the education.
Mhm.
So there's so many different
Yes.
venues, different topics that you can actually take hands-on or lectures. So
Yes. It's exciting.
okay, well, listen, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for dropping
Good to
by,
see ya.
and I might not see you again for.
Maybe not. Maybe I'll take your lecture because I've got one of everything almost at home now because I'm sewing samples more and more.
Okay.
So I'm like, I need this needle at home.
Do you have a
So,
favorite needle type? Microtex,
um,
jeans,
The one I use most is the chrome quilting needle.
chrome quilting. Okay,
So I've been like, I usually, is it at 80?
Be 7511 or a 9014.
Okay, so I've been using the 7511.
Okay.
See, I should take Rhonda's lecture that I scheduled her for so I can learn more about this. But no, I've been experimenting with all the different ones.
Excellent.
And just to mention real quick before I go, the special quilt exhibits. So we have a 1973 quilt exhibit. I used lots of Wonder Under. So the nonstick needles.
Oh, the super non-stick.
They definitely made a big
Awesome.
improvement, so I can attest
Yay.
to that. But lots of things to see.
Okay,
I'll
thanks
leave
for
you alone.
coming by. Okay, we got Sue coming up. Oh yeah, we're working hard here on the show floor. Okay, so give us your full name and your website and
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No.
I'm Susan from allaboutblanks.com.
allaboutblanks.com. And I
Yes.
see you at a lot of different shows, and you're going to look right there into the camera.
We do.
Switch in more.
Oh, there we go. We find that our customers do quilting and embroidery and sometimes some heat transfer. Sometimes like they craft in all of the different DIY things. So
Okay.
you'll find us a lot of different shows. So this is our first time here. We're really excited. We've never been up to
Oh,
Wisconsin.
fantastic. Well, I see Susan at a lot of different shows throughout the country, and she's always mobbed because you've got so many different blanks. So you want to show some of,
Yes.
so like if you do like to do machine embroidery, just as an example, you don't have to make the entire towel. Just get your designs out and
Great.
start stitching on these really quality items. So
We sell everything already finished, so all you get to do is the fun part where you can decorate it however you want to.
that is the fun
So
part.
we kind of consider ourselves like the candy store for embroiderers, is what we like to think of ourselves. We have all the fun stuff. And at the shows, we do something that we do not do on our website. At the shows, our kitchen towels that are 100% cotton kitchen towels, they're 6 for $24 at the shows, which is almost
Wow.
$1 off for each one.
Great
so it's a really
pricing.
great deal. We have, at last count, we have 84 different styles of kitchen towels here.
How
So
many?
84.
84.
So we have all the colors, all the patterns, whatever you're
I
looking
suppose
for.
You've got like for seasonal
Mhm.
and holiday and plain. So
Yes, for the early bird people that are getting Christmas done, we've got our Christmas here. We have all of the things. So anyway, that's our big show special. And then I also, since it is a quilting show, I brought our best item in our baby category is our quilted baby blankets. And I don't know if they can see
Here,
that
let
really
me-
well.
wow, I
Um,
love the texture. So this is already, is that
Already done. It's
Already
100%
quilted.
Cotton. It's cotton batting on the inside. It's quilted, and then all you have to do is add your monogram or a design that matches back to the theme in the baby's room. That's our white one.
Fantastic.
We've got
oh,
pink,
pastel colors
pink and
too?
blue and gray.
Wonderful.
I've got to have gray now.
Well, now that would make a really quick and easy kit.
Yeah, it's very quick and easy. And these are actually on sale at the show too.
So it doesn't matter what brand of machine embroidery
Mm-mm.
system you're using.
Not at all.
Yeah, 'cause you've got the blanks.
We've got the blanks. And we get asked a lot, actually, which brand of machine we recommend. And I will tell you, it's all about where you live and the dealers in your area. You
Yes.
find a dealer that you click with and
Yes.
wants to earn your business year after year after year.
I get that question too. What
Mhm.
machine should I buy? What brand? And it's all about your local dealer
It is.
where you can get service, where you can get education, and then you form a community within that particular dealership. So wherever all the machines are fantastic.
They are, and they
all
all
the
have their
different
special,
brands. Yeah.
special things that they do and their tricks and all of the wonderfulness.
Yeah.
It's really, it always comes back to the personality of that dealership.
Exactly. What other
Oh.
samples do you have
Oh, I
here?
just brought a couple. This is another fun thing that people like to embroider. These are jewelry rounds.
Uh-huh.
And they're just quick and easy to do. You can pop them down onto some hoop stabilizer and monogram the lid of them really, really fast. And so
That's really
we
cute.
sell
Let
a
me
lot of those.
bring
shows,
this
so I
up
brought those
here.
too.
So little zippered bag, so you could put cosmetics or
Yes.
snacks. I guess, is it lunchtime yet?
Well, and I actually get asked a lot about what needles to use for these. So I actually like to use a smaller needle. I like a number 7511 for
Okay.
almost all of our blank
Oh,
items.
fantastic.
That's
So
my-
the
that's my
embroidery.
pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then for like if you were using like a sticky stabilizer, like
Mhm.
I'm guessing like that. Have you used the super nonstick needle? That might be a good
I
one
haven't,
too.
but that's a great thing.
I'll
to-
give you a
yeah, I
sample.
need to try
So that one, if you
Mhm.
like size 7511, then you might want to use a size 70 or 80 in the super nonstick.
Okay.
So just to
Good to know.
keep
See?
that in mind.
I
So
learned something too.
okay, so this is Susan of
Susan.
allaboutblanks.com. So what's your next show after this?
Okay, so I'll be at the Original Sewing and Quilt Expo in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
I'll see you there.
And
Okay.
then Houston.
And Houston, I'll see you there
So,
too.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Good
well,
luck.
thanks so much for
Good to see
coming
you.
by.
Bye.
And okay, well, we're not over yet. I still have I have a couple more guests showing up. Let's see what time it is. All right. So let me see. We'll just go over some housekeeping things until they show up. So we do have that giveaway. I hope you saw on Facebook and Instagram the giveaway for September. And that giveaway, did you notice that Alicio iron with from Mimi G with that kind of cheetah print? I love that iron. So that was a donation by Alicio. So you'll Somebody will win that, along with the Yazi bag. There were notions from Taylor Seville. We have thread from Orifil. Quilt Tony donated a couple patterns. We have some magazines from Quilting Daily. Threads magazine is part of that. We have I think they're the 5-inch charm pack from Timeless Treasures. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Cuddle Fabrics, so Shannon Fabrics, there's a kit there. Wonderful has thread. Mary Malari has her newest half apron. Clover USA and the Needle Travel Guide. So awesome gifts. Now, how do you win? Well, it's going to be a totally random winner. So if you've been making comments, then you could be a winner today. So Paul is in the Chicago office, so he'll be texting me later with the winner's name. Last month, the winner was Anita Simmons Jackson from Florida. And I think Anita, yep, she's right there. She's with us again today. And okay, so what did Anita say? She got the great package. She said, thanks so much. And she'll be sharing photos with her and sharing the goodies with sewing friends and family. So yay, Anita! I'm glad that worked out for you. Okay, so I'm seeing comments. Paula says it's a fantastic giveaway. Jennifer says it's amazing. Carol says great prizes. Debbie says she loves the iron. Judy says she loves the giveaway. Anita says y'all want to win this giveaway. I know. I know a lot of fantastic people in this industry. And you know what? I know a lot of fantastic people like you here in the audience. So thank you for participating. We all participate in different ways. So while we wait for our next guest, let's see here. How many of you received the SCHMETZ September newsletter? How many of you saw that I had a very special birthday? So here's the September newsletter. And last month I was in Canada. I flew into Toronto City, which is that small island airport, and took a 4 minute. Well, I'm not even sure it's 4 minutes. I took a ferry ride from the Toronto City airport to Toronto, the mainland. And I always love to fly Porter Air into Toronto because it's a beautiful, beautiful sight, seeing all those high rises. And, the fresh air from the bay is pretty nice too. So, my friend Laura, who I think we did that spontaneous SCHMETZ snippet a couple weeks ago from her So Very Easy studio. She picked me up. Her son lives right downtown. And so we went to his apartment on the 56th floor and met up with his wife and their little granddaughter, who was adorable. And then Laura and I went to Whitby to the corporate headquarters for Bernina, Canada. And the next day we spent giving classes. Laura, well, let's see, I started the day with SCHMETZ needles. So that made a lot of sense for me, don't you think? Every sewing project should start with a new needle and sewing knowledge. So they started the day with SCHMETZ, which worked out beautifully. Later in the day, Laura gave a trunk show on her quilts and projects that she's made over the years. So we had a really grand day. Then Laura lives in Niagara Falls, Canada. So it was about an hour and a half drive. And it was a very easy drive. We timed it so we didn't get caught up in traffic. Um, so I spent the next few evenings with Laura and her husband in Niagara Falls, Canada. I did play tourist a little bit, but we also did some work. And Laura has a wonderful studio, and I got to check that out and all of her fantastic equipment. Of course, she's got quite a few SCHMETZ needles. And let's see what else. Well, Evo, her husband, is a mighty fine cook, Italian cook. Cooking with the Koyas on YouTube is his channel. So every meal, I have to, oh, I wish I could describe every meal that we had. Homemade ravioli, homemade sausage, homemade meatballs, homemade tiramisu, homemade key lime pie, homemade eggplant parmesan, homemade focaccia. And one night he made 4 pizzas from scratch. 4 pizzas. There were 6 of us. They had some friends over, and we had a grand evening. And to tell you the truth, wow, I almost felt like I was in college because 3 o'clock was. Well, 1 o'clock was the earliest I went to bed during that entire trip, and 3 o'clock was my normal bedtime. We stayed up talking, eating, drinking limoncello. So it was a lot of fun. So yes, I had a very special birthday, one that ends in a 5. So if you went to sewmorestitches.com, you can probably see what number that is on the cake. So in the newsletter, um, I also talked about the leather needle. So if you like to sew on leather or faux leather, the leather needle has a cutting blade with a left twist, so it works through your leather beautifully. So sometimes you have to kind of sample what size. If it's a heavier weight leather, you're going to want to move up a needle size or 2. So again, that's the leather needle. It comes in sizes 70, 80, 90, 100, and a 110. And there's also an assorted size pack with sizes 80, 90, and 100. So you'll find these at your local sewing machine dealer and your big box stores. So here is the giveaway. And yes, that iron is spectacular. Really, I wanted to keep it for myself, but no, 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 no. It was agreed that I would share it. So that is for our winner. All right. So again, I'm at the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. So you'll want to go to Facebook and or Instagram, and also check out all their different programs. And I guess I will probably be posting pictures in a few days from the show floor. I'll be posting on my personal blog, sewmorestitches.com. So after this show, then about 2 weeks, I'll be in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So if you're on the East Coast and in the Virginia area, you can take my lecture there. So now the other thing I want to make sure you know about is this SCHMETZ shout out. So I started that program, was it earlier in the year, where you take a picture of your finished project. And it was so popular that I said, oh, I got to stop because I couldn't manage it. So I've got like a 2-week time frame where take a picture of your finished sewing project, and you're going to go to smetsneedles.com to the shout out portion. You'll find that midway on the page, and you'll load up a picture. You'll give a little description of your project and tell me what SCHMETZ needle type and size you use. And then if you want to tell a little bit about the inspiration for that project, that would be fantastic too. Those pictures then are eventually grouped into a collage and shared on Facebook and on Instagram, generally on Wednesday. So we'll see how those. I haven't checked. Oh wow, I can't afford to go out of the office. Even though I try to stay on top of email and projects when I travel, it's hard. I can only do so much, but when I get back to the office, yeah, there's repercussions. Still a lot of email. So I will be checking the SCHMETZ shout out, and I believe that has to be loaded up by September 17th. Yes, September 17th. So all kinds of projects came in last year. There were small quilts, there were large quilts, there were table runners, there were lots of tote bags, craft bags, rugs that were made, bowls that were stitched. So lots of different projects. And so be sure to take part in the SCHMETZ shout out. Okay, so I have the next guest here, and I have seen Jan at several different shows, but it wasn't until I was in Fort Worth, Texas, a couple weeks ago, right? We were at Original Sewing and Quilt Expo, and we had a nice little chat. So, everyone, I want you to meet Jan Marie, what's your last name? Larson from Iowa. I remember that.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yes.
So, Jan is a silversmith. Is that what
am.
is? Yes.
Yes.
How do you become a silversmith?
Well, actually, I was a fashion design major in college.
Okay.
And then I eventually moved to Fairfield, Iowa.
Okay.
And my last daughter headed off to college. And my neighbor was a silversmith who made thimbles.
You're gonna look right up there. Okay.
Her name is TJ Lane, and she was making silver thimbles, had been doing it most of her life. And she called me and said, Jan, I need help. You can learn this.
Okay. What?
And
Fantastic. Okay. And what's your website?
I did. Thimbles for You.
thimblesforyou.com. So you're going to want to make sure you check out her thimbles. So I have seen the thimbles, and there's a wide array of glorious thimbles. So she brought a couple samples. So talk about a couple of your samples.
So this one has a peacock. Can you see him there? And then his tail wraps around, and actually his wife is on that side. See her there sitting in the tree.
Take it off. I'm in there.
Yeah, it's a magnolia tree, and she's in the tree.
Let's see. Oh, there. Can you see the peacock? Yes, there you go.
So we have a lot of peacocks in Iowa.
Oh, you do?
It's a kind of a typical.
Is that like a state bird?
No, not a state bird. They scream really loud.
Yes, they do. When I grew up in Nebraska, in the country on a farm, and our neighbors had peacocks, and they probably lived a mile away. And I'll tell you, you can hear them screech. Yeah.
They screech like crazy. So the peacock is one. That's a really long one, and it goes clear down on your knuckle. Really nice to learn with because it doesn't come off.
Okay, let me try that on again. So if you've got long nails, this would be a really good. And these are used primarily for handwork and for, I suppose, cross stitch and other needle point. Any kind of handwork. So if you've got nice long nails, this would be a great thimble to use. What do you call it? An open thimble?
Open nail.
Open nail.
We also have the open top, which is like a tailor's thimble. It's just a tube that's a little bit tapered.
Yeah.
And then I have thimble bands. It's a Japanese yubinuki.
How do I put this? Like this?
Same way. Yep. A little bit smaller.
Yeah,
there you go.
A little bit smaller.
So that one is the brand new hummingbird. I've only had that one a couple months, and she's doing really well.
Okay, I don't.
It's a little bit shorter. You can feel how different it feels on your finger.
A hummingbird. I'm looking for the humming. Oh, the hummingbird is on the front.
Oh, there's two of them.
Oh, okay. So the camera makes it kind of hard to get a close. But there's one on the front. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so some of them, some people can see it. Anita says she loves hummingbirds.
Yes.
So you call this a band? A band?
No, they're both open nail thimbles.
Okay.
So, let me just show you. The hummingbird is. I can't see the thing at the same time. There she is. If we get too close here, you can't see her. See her head sticking her nose into the flower there.
Fantastic.
And then on the back, there's two more. If you follow the trail, that's the trail after they flew by. Fantastic. And they've each got a little spot in the flowers back there. So
Gail says she doesn't have long nails, but she prefers your open nail.
They're really nice air conditioning.
Yeah.
It air conditions your fingers so you're not all sweaty the whole time you're working. And I've got both short and long, so you can have the really long one. The longer ones are kind of training wheels if you're just learning how to sew by hand. It'll really help because it stays on.
Here,
you just feel like it's not going anywhere.
Okay, and then I'll put this. So here you can kind of see the difference. difference.
Yep, difference in length, real short and real tall. So these shorter ones, if you've got a little bulgy knuckle, it's really handy to have a short ones because they quit before they get there. When you're actually sewing, the pressure is here, which makes the pressure go back onto that silver part.
Okay.
That's why we go ahead and bring it down on that side, because it'll spread out that pressure and make
Who
it work. And
knew?
you'll see on here too, when you push on that, you've got that nice low spot on the back side where
The
it'll
science
hold on.
of thimbles.
There's
Wow,
a
I'm
lot of
thinking about
science.
leverage of your thimbles.
Yes, it's leverage, and some of the other teachers call it ergonomics, and so these are very, very, very comfortable to wear and really easy to use. I have a teacher who travels with me quite a bit, and she teaches a lot of different hand sewing techniques so that you can learn to use a thimble.
Okay.
And if somebody's just struggling and can't figure it out, we get them one of these really long ones.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, now what else do you have? Because
I
wow,
also make
look at
I also make the chatelaine. You have a solid color on that'll probably go better on you.
let's see.
Yeah, can we see it? So the top piece in the chatelaine used to be worn as a clip on the waist of your skirt, and this is during the Victorian era. And now we're wearing them all as necklaces. So the top piece is called the chatelaine, and then all the other pieces that are hanging from it are called accessories. So this one has a waxer. It's got real beeswax in it. You can open it up and run your thread
Oh
through
my
it, and
gosh,
that will
really?
wax your threads. It's really handy when you're traveling. Here's my thimble. We got a chain all over the place.
Yeah.
The chain went crazy.
I think I
Let's see if we can square it up.
let's see if we can get it straightened.
It really looks
It's
nicer on your shirt
beautiful.
because you're the right
Here, let me
color
take this
here.
off.
All right.
Ooh, are you hot?
Yes.
I'm sweating.
I've been coming and going. You can see my hair is just all matted down.
Oh, we don't care. Mine's not great either. Okay, so let me stand up
Yes.
and I'll put
All right. So this is the waxer. It's a little locket and it's filled with beeswax. You can open it up and put your thumb on your thread and just slide it through under your thumb. This is a thimble. It's hanging on a bobble. The bobble is a little gemstone piece that holds it up on the chatelaine.
Oh,
So
how
then
cute.
you turn it upside down, and then when you're ready to wear it, you just rehang the bobble up here, and it's decorative until it's time for it to go back to work.
Interesting.
So you turn it upside down and drop the chain through the hole.
Clever.
And then hang it up. It just gives you a little bit something pretty there.
Yes, it's
Um,
like a little surprise.
Yeah, I also have thimble cages. The closed top ones don't have a hole that you can put the bobble through. So there's a closed top thimble in a cage.
And then
This
how
one
do
has a
you?
really pretty gem. The cage locks with the lobster
Ah,
clasp at
okay.
the top, and the two sides come apart. It hinges at the bottom.
Oh, wow,
So now
clever.
there's my thimble. The pretty side is always on your nail.
Uh-huh.
And the
Okay.
top and the back is what you'll be actually pushing with when you're using it. So again, they don't come off. This one has a really nice quilt rim on top. A lot of people really love this one. It's really long and it has a quilt rim. And again, the cage hinges at the bottom. You just drop your thimble in on top of that hinge, close it up, lock it shut with the big lobster clasp. And then there's another smaller clasp at the top, and that's how we hang it back on the chatelaine. There we go.
I had no idea. This is really
It's
fun.
complex, isn't it?
Yes, I was clueless.
And then this is a little needle keeper. Then that one has a hummingbird on it.
for
And
your
the lid slides off,
hand needles.
but it's also chained on, so you won't ever lose your lid. Just slides right on there.
Awesome.
And then my favorite tool is always the scissors.
Sure.
The scissors come with a silver sheath and chain. You can take them out and you can use them while you're still attached.
Yeah.
You can leave them hanging there kind of funky for a while. And then when you're done using them and having them all funky, you just slide them back into their sheath and you're good to go.
You know, I don't think I want to give this back.
That's a pretty one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is, now, so is this sold as a set or
No.
you sell the individual components?
We sell each piece separately. You know, when you're embroidering, it's not the same tools as when you're quilting.
Right.
And it's not the same tools as when you're needle turn applique. You know, everybody uses different tools and in different ways. And so you buy one piece at a time. The scissors and the thimble are the two that usually are your first two pieces. And
Right.
then you can expand
Right.
from there. There's needle threaders and thread cutters and magnifying glasses and whistles. Did you know that whistles used to be
No.
on the chatelaine?
Oh my gosh.
I think to call the children for dinner.
Oh. If somebody
Good
was,
plan.
yeah, I was saying if somebody blew a whistle for me, I would show up for food too.
It reminds me of The Sound of Music. Remember
Oh,
the captain always had a
the
different whistle for
yes.
each child. Yeah.
Oh, this
to
is
get 'em to
simply
come.
exquisite. So, like, how long? I mean, silversmithing. I'm totally clueless about that. How long does it take to make a thimble?
It takes a week to make a thimble, but I don't make one. I usually it's 70 to 90
Okay.
in a batch. We spend 2 days doing the waxes. So every piece is made using the lost wax casting method. Lost wax means that every piece is made out of wax. That wax is covered with a liquid porcelain investment. And then in about 10 minutes, the porcelain's dry enough to take off the shrink wrap and let it sit there naked. And then after it thoroughly dries in about an hour, we can put it into a big kiln. And in the kiln, the porcelain hardens up right away. But then it takes all night for the wax to drip out and burn up inside the kiln.
Yeah.
So when we come down in the morning, it's kind of smoky in there. We got a good fan going.
Oh, so I was going to
It's
ask,
just
where's your
wax.
studio?
It's outdoors.
Oh, it is outdoors.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in my husband's pole barn. I stole 13 feet of his 50 feet barn. This is mine. 13
Awesome.
by 40. It's a long, narrow space. I got it though. It's mine.
Yeah, he could spare.
So,
Sometimes you have to be pushy.
Well, and my side's air conditioned.
Oh, okay, that's even better. Especially when you have a hot.
Yeah, it's a hot project all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So we do the casting then. Once the wax is all burned out inside the kiln, the next morning we start melting the silver and get a big graphite vessel full of melted silver. It melts at 1645 degrees, so it's very, very hot stuff. The stuff in the kiln overnight is still at about 1400, and so 14 to 16, it's a little cooler. We pull out this 1400 degree stuff and turn it right side up on the floor, concrete floor, and then lift it into a chamber in the casting machine that we can vacuum. And so we put it in the chamber and seal it up and turn on the vacuum, and all the air dissipates from the chamber, and then we drop the silver down into that vacuum, and it goes into all the little nooks and crannies in the whole thing.
Unbelievable.
It's an amazing process. I really love what I do. We have a lot of fun.
And so how long does it take to make 70 thimbles?
Well, a whole week.
Yeah, a whole week.
Really a week
Okay.
of full time.
Yeah.
So once you get the silver dropped in there, everything is still burning hot. You set it on the floor for about 20 minutes and it'll cool down to about 1,000 degrees. And then while it's still at 1,000 degrees, you lift up the whole piece and plunge it into a bucket of cold water, and the whole porcelain part shatters. It just burns and pops and sizzles and falls off. And so the porcelain is all in dust in the bottom of your bucket of water. But now you have a silver piece that's identical to the wax piece that you had the day before.
Who knew?
It's really quite a process.
Yeah.
We really love doing it.
Yeah.
So, and then your silver's all done, but it's all connected by little sprues, things that attach to it. And so we've got to cut them all off and clean them all up. And they go through an acid wash and then a tumbler cold wash. And then they have to go back in the kiln for hardening. When silver is first cast, it's called dead soft. And so it is very malleable, very soft. So you have to be kind of careful when you're messing with them while they're soft like that. They will bend. And so we get them all cleaned up and they go back into the kiln and half the melt temperature for 6 hours. So it's another overnight in the kiln. And then in the morning after that, we drop them in boric acid and that turns them matte black. The whole piece is matte black. And then on the inside, we have a little thing that it's a cylinder like a little Dremel.
Okay.
It polishes the inside and we go a coarse, medium, and fine on the inside. And then on the outside, there's a brush piece. And so if you look closely at the thimbles, you can see that there's black down in the creases and cracks. And that's left there on purpose so that you can see the artwork. You can see even where the dimples are in here because we've left that black on the outside, on the inside, drop down into the holes. But we've brushed and shined it up on the outside.
Fantastic. So, we're getting really great comments that people had no idea about silversmithing. And the thing is, okay, so SCHMETZ needles, there's a lot of similar steps in the making a SCHMETZ needle. So I won't go into that process, but yeah, high heat and refrigeration
Yep.
and all the different equipment that goes into making a needle
Yeah.
doesn't happen lickety split.
No, it does take a week. It really does. Sorry about that.
Awesome.
Uh,
Okay, so they're asked. Oh, we're getting great comments here, and they're asking for your website again. And I see Jennifer
Yep,
just posted
she
it.
did.
So
Thank you.
thimblesforyou.com, so you
Yep.
can check that out. So, wow, I'm really blown away.
You guys got to come to the show and see them.
Yeah.
There, I'm just changing over my website right now, so it's fine. Don't worry, you can still use it. But I found out I have 973 different things on the website.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you got to get that organized.
It's taken me a lot longer to organize than I
Do
thought it
you
would.
are you on Facebook or Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
Thimbles for you.
Okay. Fantastic.
It's all the same. Nobody else wants my Thimbles for you name.
Well,
Lucky
yay.
me.
Well, it is well, let me just ask you one more thing. So your neighbor said you could learn this really quick, but did you really learn it very quick? Or, I mean, it comes with experience too,
Right.
the nuances.
Right, it does. But because I am who I am, and I've been doing this crafty
How
stuff
long?
my whole life.
How long have you been so
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
long time. Yeah, so I started out with Tommy. She was 83, and I was in my mid 50s. And like I said, no more kids at home, so
Yeah.
I got to goof off a little bit. I was working as an organic crop inspector.
Oh wow.
And so I could reorganize the dates and times when I did that and work with her. She was 83, so I worked with her in the mornings, about 4 hours every morning from about 8 to noon.
Okay.
And,
the cool part of the day.
Yeah, well, and
In
when your
theory.
brain's functioning, yeah, all of us. So she would do a little demo for 15 or 20 minutes when I would get there, and then I would do the rest of 4 hours of repeating that thing,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of polishing and finishing that's fairly boring. You just keep going, do it again and again, like you do when you're quilting and
Yeah.
sewing all the same pieces together, so they'll all turn out the same. There's a lot of similarities there. So I started out doing that, and then I worked a little into the next stage and finally learned how to solder. She had never done any casting herself. She'd had a company do the casting for her, but I do my own casting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm blown away, and it looks like a lot of other people too. Gail is saying she plans to add to her Shadow Lane. Let's
Thanks,
see.
Gail.
Oh, are you going to the Novi show by chance?
Yes, I'll
Oh,
be there.
okay. Because I know Gail. Hi, Gail, and she lives in the Detroit area. So
I'll be at the
go
Novi
to
show.
go to the
and,
Novi
yeah.
show and see Jan. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I
too
think
bad.
I don't remember where I'm at, but yeah, I'm gonna miss
I'll
the
be in
Novi.
Grand Rapids next week too.
Oh, there you
That's coming
go.
up.
Okay, if you're in Grand Rapids, which show is that?
AQS.
AQS.
American Quilt Society.
Okay.
AQS
Fantastic.
Grand Rapids.
Well, Jan, it's a pleasure to
Thank
have
you.
you here today. Thanks for taking time out of your setup.
Yes, aren't we having fun? I'll let them set up for a while. It's okay.
There you go. Okay, I'll see you later.
Thanks
Thanks
you.
for coming by. Wasn't that remarkable? I meet the most interesting people, the most interesting and creative people. So looks like you've enjoyed it too. Okay, so Paul in the office, he has selected the winner, and it is a random winner. And let's see, is there anything else I need to mention here? Oh, okay. So today, also the Textile Talks, we do sponsor that. That was the other thing in the newsletter. That's at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So the topic is building community through quilts with Maria Schall. So I know that's had a lot of really positive comments, so you can check that out at SAQA. Studio Art Quilt Associates. It's a free lecture, but you still have to register. So check that out. Okay, well, let's just kind of wrap things up here. It's 12:45 here in Madison, Wisconsin, and I think some of the I wanted legit kits to come by. I had sent them an email inviting them to be here today, and I learned I've been out on the floor looking for them, only to find out that their truck caught fire yesterday on their way to the show. So they're not going to be here. So send good wishes to Legit Quilts. I had posted some pictures from their booth at sewmorestitches.com, so you can check out those pictures. Okay, so our winner here today is, let me get my text here from Paul. Yeah, Bella, I didn't hear anything of if there were any injuries or how much damage, but yeah, that's pretty scary. So, okay, our winner today is from Charleston, South Carolina, and that is Peggy Hadley. Peggy Hadley, you're our winner today. So, what you need to do is send an email to info@smetsneedles.com. Send your shipping address, and next week when I return to the office, I will send out your giveaway with that Alicio iron, the Aurifil thread, the Shannon fabrics, the Wonderfil thread, and Clover products, etc. So congratulations to Peggy Hadley from Charleston, South Carolina. So let me just remind you also to take part in the SCHMETZ shout out. There will be how many winners? Is it two winners? Two lucky winners. Yes, two lucky winners will receive SCHMETZ needles and a Grab It My Pad. And I'm looking forward to seeing all your submissions. I know some of you submitted earlier in the year, so send your finished projects to smetsneedles.com to the shout out. You'll find the link on the home page. So, again, thank you to everyone for being here today. I'm so happy to see that you're here, and I'm so happy that all my connections worked. I've got a new laptop here today, and a new connection and new internet, and a new streaming device. So lots of new things. So I'm going to take a deep breath after this, and I'll tell you one more little thing is tomorrow my SCHMETZ needle class is being filmed by PBS Wisconsin. So I'm just letting you know I'm excited about that. I'm not making a big deal out of it in case there's a little glitch or something. But anyway, my lecture at 8:30 tomorrow is being filmed by PBS Wisconsin. I'm delighted to have that happen. So I'll tell you more about that next month when I go live again in the first Wednesday of October. And I'll be in Houston at International Quilt Festival for that. So I'll have more guests for you to meet, more of my wonderful creative sewing friends. So, okay, everybody, thanks for being here today and happy sewing. And remember, needles don't last forever. You need to change out your needle. So until next time, thanks for being here again. So SCHMETZ, bye-bye.